Arguably one of the most tasteful uses of LED lights is to spice up your very large television set. Even if it's not the largest TV out there, it will look cooler with some LED lights. While you're looking, you may have noticed that there are many options on the market for LED light strips, some of those made just especially for this use case. In this video, I will not only be unboxing and reviewing these light strips, but also installing them on my very own TV. Stick around for the triumphs and struggles that I'm sure to go through during this process. Before you go out and purchase your LED light strips to mount on the back of your TV, you want to ensure that you have the correct size for your screen. My TV is a 49-inch TV, so based on that, I should be buying the 6.56 feet LED light strips to mount on the back. The range for those are from 40 to 60 inches. Anything bigger than that requires the larger, and yes, more expensive 14.3 foot LED light strip. This will run you $23.99, but if you have a bigger TV, the chances are you can probably afford that. Once you've gotten your LED light strips from Amazon, it's time to unbox them and get installing. We will tear this right open, and we will first be met with a USB cable to the power input that goes into the mini controller, which is on these LED light strips. And then we have our 24 key remote. And last but not least, yikes, our connectors to go in between the 4 individual LED light strips. And then finally, the strips themselves. We're going to keep the box around because there are some useful diagrams that show how you should mount based on the different sizes of your TV. For example, for a 40 to 46 inch TV, you'd simply run the strips horizontally on the back. But for my TV, since it falls into the 46 to 50 installation method, I'm going to be creating a box on the back of the TV, making box motions. Cool. With the TV flipped around, we are going to get to installing. Let's read some directions here. Talks about the different installation methods. I'm going to go with the box method, as I stated earlier. And this set of directions talks about the functionality and the different connectors. Before I actually go and start sticking the LED lights anywhere, I want to do a quick mock-up to make sure that these will fit properly. Pull out the strip. There is a warning paper that says you should have the receiver close to the edge of your TV so that it can pick up your controller. Since this is a pretty small remote, I won't be surprised if it has issues getting its signal to the actual controller. Let's give it the best shot possible though by installing it correctly. Pulling out the LED strips themselves, there are a lot of cut points as well as the 3 different connection points. So I can pull these apart like so, and then this one long strip separates into 4 smaller strips, which I will connect then with the 3 included bridges. We want to start this first strip close to the USB port on my TV. That's the benefit of purchasing these lights over one that requires a power supply. Since I can just plug it into the back of my TV, I'm going to have a very clean look once I'm done installing these. So we'll start by plugging this in to the USB port. Bingo! And then now I want to mock up. Well, let's give it a shot. So now that I've finally finished installing, let's talk over some things that I noticed. First off, the adhesive on the back of just the strips themselves is absolute bad. It just stinks. There's only like 2 spots where it was actually sticky after pulling off the backing. Additionally, they really cheaped out on the clips, which I was disappointed with because this could look a lot cleaner if I had more clips. Maybe, maybe not. But either way, I think they should include at least 2 more in the kit. Totally expect to use your own tape or command strips if you really want this to have a clean look. Another thing that I noticed was if you're going and installing your LED lights and you try and turn them on and one section isn't working or power isn't flowing to all the sections, make sure that you have your connectors installed correctly. If you look on the end of each LED strip and then on the end of each connector, there is an RGB and then a plus sign. The RGB and the plus sign have to be aligned on each end for these to function properly. The plus sign is obviously the power, and then the RGB is the red, green, blue. You get the point, you got it. Now that I've installed mine, crudely of course, we're going to turn this around, fire it up, and see what happens. For a point of reference, this is the controller where my remote has to point and get signal to so they turn on. There they're plugged in by USB. Anyways, here we go. The TV is hooked up, the lights are on, and I am a wee bit underimpressed, but I have some thoughts on why that is. Right away I noticed that the LED lights are pointing back towards the wall, which makes sense because I mounted them that way. If I were to do this again, I would mount the LED lights in a way that pointed the lights towards the outskirts of the TV so that the light would go that way and reflect more on the outer edges. Additionally, I don't think this is necessarily the best setting to show off these lights. If we were in a darker environment without studio lighting and this was mounted closer to a wall, I think the light would reflect a lot better and be a much cooler experience. Right away I noticed with the remote that, man, if you're gonna change the color regularly, you definitely have to mount that controller in a visible spot. Because right now, for me to actually change anything, I have to point it up and point it at the controller, even though I thought I was doing my due diligence by putting it on the edge of the TV. Something to keep in mind when you're mounting your LEDs for sure. The remote itself allows me to go through 16 different colors, as well as modes like flash, strobe, fade, smooth, pretty standard for any set of LED light strips on the market at this time. Additionally, I can adjust brightness, but honestly, I wouldn't see why you would need these any dimmer unless you're in an absolutely dark room where the light becomes bothersome for your viewing pleasure. Other than that, if you have any questions on these LED lights that are specialty made for the back of your TV, please comment those in the comment section below. I will have these on my personal TV as they are now. Hopefully they don't fall off in a week or less. Either way, I'm happy to answer further questions that you might have. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future LED light videos. That seems to be our specialty and we are sticking with it for a while. Anyways, link in description below for this product if you want to purchase it. Additionally, click that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. As always folks, we'll catch you in the next one. Bird out.